every spring, my family comes up to me and is like, hey, Will, we started running our air conditioner this season. Is there anything I should watch out for, look for? And to be honest with you, I love that they're asking that question because a lot of people just turn down their thermostat and it kind of gets cool in their house and they say, okay, I'm great. And more times than not, in the middle of June, it's 98 degrees outside and their system quits. And now they're calling and it's emergency. It's hot outside. So today, I'm gonna tell you what I would tell my own family to look for, watch for, to worry about so that you don't have problems in the middle of June when it's really hot outside. I'm Will Yarbrough, the general manager of Yarbrough Sons. Let's dive in. All right, why a May check matters more than most people think. A May check is really gonna test a lot of those small components. We're testing the capacitors, we're checking on refrigerant levels, we're looking at airflow across all the vents in your house. A lot of times when we can check these really small things and we can find small problems here and there, that means that we can stop really big problems down the line. So, a couple $100 fix right now is gonna save you $1,000 or more fix down the road. So that's why May checks matter way more than most people think. So if you're doing a May check and you're kind of like, hey, Will, what can I do myself without calling a tech out? Here's what I would honestly tell my family. Hey, let's start outside at the condenser. So that condenser is that big metal box sitting on the outside of your house that makes noise every now and then when your air conditioner comes on. What you really want to watch out for is that you don't have anything immediately just bumping up against that thing. I can't tell you how many times I've gone out to people's houses and they've got either toys or lawn equipment or the grass is growing up really high around that condensing unit. And the reason why that's a big deal is because that condensing unit pulls air from the sides of the unit and that fan pushes it up. That's how it heats and cools your house, right? Well, it heats if it's a heat pump, but it cools your house off that way. You don't want anything butting up against that and restricting airflow. That's gonna result in higher energy bills. Your system's not gonna cool efficiently. So just making sure that nothing's in the way is gonna be a huge deal and something that you can honestly just immediately fix yourself. So while you're out there looking at it, don't take anything apart yet. Just look inside the unit and see if you notice anything that's loose, any electrical wiring. Has an animal decided to make the condenser your home or its home? So, if you notice anything like that, that's definitely worth getting taken out of there. And while you're out there looking at that beautiful condensing unit that's gonna take care of your home and keep you cool in the middle of a really hot summer, just take a little bit of a look to the right or left and you're gonna see the electrical disconnect. It's got the wire that goes from the condensing unit to the wall. It's gonna be mounted to the brick or the side of your house. What you wanna look for there is if you see any sort of signs of animal intrusion. Honestly, what I see a lot of is a lot of wasps. Wasps, dirt daubers, hornets, whatever they are called in your area, like to make their home in those electrical disconnects because it's warm. Why that's such a big deal is those are major fire hazards and system killers. If you notice animal intrusions on that disconnect, call a tech out and we'll get that sorted for you. Now that you've looked at your condensing unit and you looked at your electrical disconnect, let's move on the inside. And I want to tell you the most neglected component of your whole AC system is your filter. My brothers and I have been on the local news telling people how to change their filter. It's really pretty simple and it's the easiest thing someone can do to ensure that they don't have major repair bills down the line, like a compressor that's gone out or anything else. If you've got a filter and it's just a 1-inch or maybe a 3-inch filter, the cadence for that kind of change that you would want to do is maybe every 30 to 60 days. So set a reminder on your phone. I know I have to do this. I have the same filters on my house. I've got to set a reminder on my phone because we're all busy. Everyone's prone to forget. It's totally understandable. But if you take your filter down and you hold it up to the light and you can't see light through it, it's overdue. It needs to be changed more often. So just set that reminder forward just a little bit. But changing your filter, biggest thing you can do. Another thing that you can do that you don't have to call a tech out for is, now this is a little bit more involved than changing your filter, but not too much. Hang with me. What you want to do is to look at your condensation drain line. That's going to be located somewhere around your furnace. It's going to go from your evaporator coil and go outside your house or go down into a drain, maybe like connected to a hot water heater somewhere in there. What you can do is pour distilled white vinegar down that drain. So in Oklahoma, where we're at, we get algae and other just biological growth inside that thing. The reason that's a big deal is because if water gets backed up, and especially if your furnace or your evaporator coil is above your ceiling and water gets backed up and spills over, it can ruin ceilings, walls, floor. Mom's not happy, the dog's wet, it's not a fun time. So distilled white vinegar, pour it down that, just take care of that problem before it's ever a problem and presents itself. Those are two really big things that you can do. Now, what I want to kind of talk about now is some signs and things that you want to watch out for. So if you go outside, this is a perfect time to do just a 15-minute diagnostic test. So what you do is you turn your thermostat down, maybe 5 to 10 degrees below what you normally set it to. Go outside and just listen. Listen for anything unusual. If you hear loud clanging or banging noise or really weird humming, those are signs that there might be something wrong, that even though it's working right now, that you might want to jot down and maybe have a technician come out and inspect. This is a callback to why a May check is so important. We check a lot of that stuff. So if you notice any of those weird humming, buzzing noise, clangings, that could be a loose component. Your capacitor could be getting weak. Your compressor might be having issues. A major issue that you can tell right off the bat is short cycling. I just kind of want to take a moment and address this right now. So short cycling is where your unit kicks on for maybe 2 or 3 minutes, shuts off, and then quickly comes back on. And it's doing that on a repeated cycle. If you're noticing that, shut your system off and call a technician out to your house. That is a huge wear on your compressor. So the reason it's a huge wear on your compressor is because on startup, it's a huge electrical load. And a lot of times those compressors, if they're short cycling repeatedly, it's gonna wear the compressor out. You're gonna have to replace your compressor, and those are massive repair bills. So do yourself a favor, shut the system off, call a technician out before it becomes a major problem. Something else that you can kind of look at yourself. Whenever you're doing this 15-minute diagnostic test and you're kind of listening for weird noises or anything like that, go to every room in the house and just put your hand up to the vent. Make sure that you're getting a good consistent airflow out of those vents. Now, if the airflow is weak and it's strong in other areas, that might mean that you've got restricted airflow somewhere up in your attic or in your vents. If your vents are in the floor, okay, that might be a blower motor issue. So there's a couple of different things that it could be, but that's something you can check. Also, if you notice that the air coming out of your vents, and the system's been running for about 10 to 15 minutes, if the air coming out of your vents is not cool, right, it should be 15 to 20 degrees cooler than the air it's taking in, that might be an indication that it's not cooling efficiently. That might be a refrigerant issue or something along those lines. So that's something you can check. It's just data for you so that you know how your system is performing. So again, we're still in the context of doing that 15-minute check. Go back outside to that condensing unit and check and make sure there's no ice buildup on the refrigerant line. So this is something that happened to me personally. So you have ice buildup on that refrigerant line, that can mean a couple of things. You've got restricted airflow, there's a blower motor issue, or you've got a kink in your refrigerant line or a leak in your refrigerant line. Whenever you have that ice built up, here is what you do. Pay attention right here. This is super important. What you need to do is stop. Turn your air conditioner off and let that ice melt. Because if you call a technician out to your house and everything's frozen up, they're not going to be able to do anything. So they have to wait until that unit thaws. So let all the ice melt, then call a technician out, and they'll come and inspect the system, and you can take pictures, show them kind of what's going on, and they'll be able to diagnose that really quickly and get you up and running again. It might look super scary. It's something that you should pay attention to. It's an early warning sign, but this happened to me. Had all the ice melt there. Got that taken care of and got that solution fixed. So that's something to look out for. So you've done your diagnostic test, your 15 minutes went great. It's fantastic. Your system's running, it's cooling, you've got no issues, but you're noticing that, your utility bills are just a little bit higher. So that's an early warning sign. We should not automatically assume just electrical bill inflation. A lot of times what that indicates is that components are running longer than they used to be, or that your system is losing its efficiency. In general, not all the time, but in general, systems lose about 2 to 5% efficiency every single year. So you might be noticing an efficiency loss over time. Your system's running longer. That's why it's even more important to do those May checks. It's really, really important because we can check a lot of these small things that help your system run more effectively over the long run and extend the life of that system. This is really important, especially if your system is 7+ years old. So get on that May check and take a look at your utility bills. Make sure they're all lined up. Comparing it to last year, everything's pretty consistent. Out of all of these things that I've talked about, when in the world do you call a professional versus what can you do it yourself? So there's really like 3 things that are super easy for you to do. You can always go outside and look at your outdoor condensing unit and remove things from the side of it. That's super simple. That's totally within your realm that you can do. You can also change your filter. If you're concerned about how to change your filter, go check out our other videos. There's videos of us changing filters all over the place. So change your filter, super easy. Set that reminder, you can do it. Third thing you can do is you can pour white vinegar down your condensing drain line. That is a little bit more involved than changing your filter, but it's totally doable and will save you any sort of backup or drain line issues down the road. Now, here's where you should probably call a professional. If you notice anything involving electrical looks off, there's loose wires, there's like a rodent, a squirrel just went nuts in your condensing unit and just tore everything to pieces, or maybe the electrical disconnect, there's like a hornet's wasp nest, carry wasp spray. My brother's carried a stick, probably don't carry a stick. If you notice anything like that, call a technician. Also, anything revolving around refrigerant issues. You know, if you don't have an EPA license, it's technically illegal to open up anything involving a refrigerant line and letting that out. So the technician should handle that. If you notice any sort of weird, out of the ordinary noises, that's a moment to call a technician out. So those things are the main reasons why you should call a technician. You can take care of the other stuff yourself, and honestly, it will save you so much money if you can just change your filter, make sure nothing is around that condensing unit, and just do a good kind of diagnostic check and just checking the air coming into all the rooms in your house. If you take care of those things, that's going to mitigate 85 to 90% of your general summer repair issues. So let's talk about that additional 15 to 10% that you can't do as a homeowner. This is where annual maintenance comes in. So a technician's gonna come out, we're gonna come out and do a diagnostic check on the whole system. We're gonna check electrical components. We're gonna check airflow. We're gonna check refrigerant pressures, the things that you can't feasibly do as a homeowner without special tools and equipment. We're gonna come in and get you from 85% to that 100%, or at least give you early warning signs as to, hey, this capacitor's failing. Hey, this is concerning. I might address this before it becomes a major issue down the road. So this is really, really important, especially if your systems are 7+ years old. Okay, this is going to vary from region to region, but here in Oklahoma, that's generally where we see major issues start to pop up. So having a maintenance agreement is going to mitigate the rest of those problems, or at least give you early warning signs to where you can make an informed decision. You're not making a rush decision, and you're not under pressure from summer heat to make a decision right now. So maintenance, super important for the whole system's health. So to sum everything up, we make these videos to help you, the homeowner, to empower you, to educate you so that you can do as much as you feasibly can to take care of the most expensive component in your whole house. So you can change your filter. You can look at the outside condensing unit and remove things away from it. And you can pour down and clear that drain line. That's something that's totally within your power to do. And you can set up a maintenance agreement with a trusted local professional to get you the rest of the way to ensure that you're not gonna have any major breakdowns when it's at its hottest this summer. So we make these videos to educate you, to empower you, and to help you, the homeowner, out. So hey, if you like this content and this has been helpful, please leave us a like, comment down below, and if you're in the Oklahoma City metro area and you want an estimate to repair or replace your air conditioning system, scan the QR code up here and we would love to be able to help you out. I'm Will Yarbrough with Yarbrough Sons. Appreciate it. Take care of your home.
Yarbrough Sons, Yarbrough Sons, these are the folks you should know. No need to sweat, no need to fret, call 485-3470.